Now we are going to do three-way joins with the on clause. What I mean by three-way join is we are joining three tables together. And the table we are going to use for this join will be the employee table, the department table, and the location table. We'll use three tables. So we are going to write a query to bring out this table that you are looking at. This is a query from three different tables. This employee ID is coming from the employee table. This city is coming from the location table. And department name is coming from the department table. So how are we going to write our query to combine three tables together? That is what we want to look at. So, like I said, if you look at this side of this HR schema, you can see that on this side we have many tables. If I minimize this by clicking on this minus sign, you see, then I minimize this. So you're having the HR schema and the Scott schema. Now I click on the plus sign to expand it. Then I click on these tables to expand the table. So we have countries, department, employees, job history, jobs, locations, region. If I don't want to write a query, I can click on it. Now I told you we are going to use, for the three tables that we want to combine, we are going to use the location table, which is this. We are going to use the employee table, which is this, and then we are going to use the department table. The same way you will write that describe command, and it will give you the table structure. That is what we are seeing by just coming to this side to click on it if you don't want to write a query. But I just decided to show you this. Now, if I look at this location table, without me writing any query, you click on location, then you come here and you click on the data tab. If I click on data tab, see, showing me what we have in that location. So we have location ID, street address, postal code, city, and state province, then country ID. These are the columns that you have. Okay, so I'm going to just close this and then I will come back to this table. I'm going to write query. So I showed you those things without writing a single query because I'm looking at everything on this side. Are you seeing this schema? So I'm looking at it through the side of the schema. So I'm going to write query to bring that out. So I'll just say select star from employees. And I'll end this. And then I will say select star from department. And I'll end this. And then I will say select star from locations. And then I'll end this. So these are the three tables we are going to combine to give us what we saw in that in the PowerPoint display. So we'll look at this. When I execute this, this is what I'm going to get. So this is my normal employee table that you know. Then I will execute this one, which is department table. It's going to give me the same information that we saw before. Then I execute the location. It's giving me the same information that we saw before. This is what we want to achieve. We want to bring out another table that has the combination of employee ID, which is from the employee table, city, which is from the location table, and then department name, which is from the department table. So the query that will give us this is what we want to write now. We are expected to bring out a query that will give us employee underscore ID, give us city, and then give us department name. Department underscore name. Now, the city is here, meaning we just want to see where each department is. Which city is a particular department? That is what we want to see. Now, and we are going to find out that through the location ID. So I will simply say select employee ID, what I want to bring, employee underscore ID. So that one is coming from the employee table, which is this column. I will say comma. Whichever way I will arrange my output, that is how it's going to give it to me. So city, So this city now is coming from, when you run this one, from the location, which is this. So city is here. So the city is coming from the location table. I will say comma. Then the department name, department underscore ID. Sorry, name. That is what I want. The department name. So these are just the three columns that I want from three different tables. I will now say from, I will call the first table, which is what? Employee. Right? Now, when I say from employee, join, I will call the first join condition. Join department. Join department. This is my first join condition. On, I will state that condition on, then I'll put it in parentheses. What is common to both the employee table and the department table is the department ID. So I will say that on department. Now, I'm not putting my alias yet. Department underscore ID equals department underscore ID again. So that is my first join condition. Are you with me? Okay. Now, of course, you know, if I run this, it's going to give me ambiguity error. So I need to start putting my alias. Then I will come here. This employee, I'll put the E in front of it. But you know, when you are writing the practical, when you are doing your normal job and you already know it, you'll be typing it along. I'm just doing it this way for the explanation's sake. But when you're writing a normal query, you already know that, okay, I'm going to initialize all my tables. So whatever you have in mind as what you will use to initialize your table, you just type it in as you are typing. You don't have to finish the typing and then come and start arranging it this way. But for the sake of the explanation, for you to understand what I'm doing, that's why I'm doing this. So from employees, E, join department, D. So this place will now be where department ID from the employee table equals to department ID from the department table. So that one is defined. Then I will now come back to this place. I have not finished my query yet. I will come back to the employee ID and I will state where I want that to come from. So it's coming from the department, from the employee table. So e.employee ID. City is coming from the location. Now I've not written location yet, so hold on. The department name is coming from department. So that is D dot department. Are you with me? Now, I'm going to break my code because if I keep typing, it will be too long. So I'm going to break it. So at this point, I will say from, I'll cut it from the from, bring it here, right? All those keywords are supposed to be cut. So I will now come to this place, cut the join, put it under like this. Come to the on, cut it, put it under. So all those clauses will be arranged like this. Now, this will enable me add the additional condition on this. So I have done that. Then I will call the last join condition now. I told you when you are joining three tables together, the minimum join condition will be 2. But you can have more than 2. When you are joining two tables together, the minimum join condition is 1. You must have at least one join condition when you are joining two tables together. When you are joining three tables together, you must have at least 2 join conditions. So you now see that one join condition will not do the work. Because if you try to execute it here like this to throw you an error, it's not seeing, it doesn't know which table to get the city from. Are you with me? This city will not know where to get it from. Let's assume I end it here. I end it here and I try to run it. Watch. See, to throw me an error. It's saying table of view does not exist. Table of view does not exist. So you can't find, an error was encountered, you can't find it. Sorry, that one is even not the error. Is this employee that is saying doesn't exist? I didn't put S. So this is this one. Now let's run it again and see the error it will give you. Now look at this. You see the first error it gave me, it was telling me table of view does not exist. That one, initially I didn't put S in the employees. That is what he told me, that this table does not exist, because the moment he say from employee, You can't find the employee in the database. You quickly gave me that error. Table does not exist. Now, this one now that I'm executing is now giving me this error. City, invalid identifier, meaning I don't know where to find city. This error is coming from the first error he showed me. So it's telling me I don't know where to find city. Are you with me? So that is that error. Now we are going to add it. Now that is the second join condition. So this one is from employees E join department D on E department ID equals to D department ID. Then I'm going to bring in the second join condition. Join, I will now call that table, which is what? Join location. Now this is the third table, and I'm going to give it an alias L. Are you with me? Now, this one now, joining this location will now be on what? Since I know that the relationship between the department ID and the location ID, which is this is department ID, the department table, I mean. In department table, there is location ID there, right? Now, in location table, there is location ID. So I now know that there is a link between department table and location table. Now, are you seeing the way the flow is going? It's a flow. It's just like water flowing in a tap. So it's a flow. Which one is the next one? Which one is the next one? So I know that there's a relationship between employee table and department table. And then there is a relationship between department table and location table. Are you with me? There is no relationship between employee table and location table. So the first thing I'm going to do is first link the two tables that have relationship together. Then link the table that has relationship to the other one. So I'm linking it. So the way the query is going from left to right. The entry point is from the employee table, and then is going into the employee table, then flow into the department table, and then flow into the what? Location table, and then flow out. So if I'm going to join another table, making 4 tables, I will have to look for which table has a relationship with the location table. So when I run location table, which is this, I'm going to see country ID. Can you see there's country ID? Now, if you look at this place, you will see that there is a table that is countries. Are you seeing the way they are linking the tables together? Are you with me? So you will now notice that the database is not just designed for design's sake. There is a clear pattern to how it is being designed. Each of the tables is linked to another table, linked to another table, linked to another table. So you can see that if I want to join another table, making it 4 table, that will be the country table. Then I can run all these other tables and see what is in them, if any of them have any column that is similar to this one. So that is how you read the database. And now begin to see that, okay, my employee table is linked to my department table. My department table is linked to the location table. Location table is linked to the country table. Then if I run this country table too, if I look at this country, see, look at this country and I click on data, you will see that there is region ID at the end. Can you see it? And then if you look at this place, you will see that there is region table. So the countries table is linked to the region table. Now, if I click on this region table now and I click on, data, you see that there is region ID and region name. It ends there. So it means country, location inside country, country inside region. So that is how the database is designed for this HR schema. Everything is linked. Now, based on that link, you will be able to um, understand how to write your query to join your tables together. So now I want to join location. So I will say join locations on, then I'll put this like this, open my parentheses. I will now say on, since I already have the initials, I will just say, now we know that the department table is linked to the location table on D, which is department. And what is the column that is similar to them? Look at the department table. What is the column? Location ID. Are you with me? Location ID. So I will now come here and say D location underscore ID equals to L, which is location, dot location underscore ID. Then I will close my parenthesis and then I will terminate my query here. Are you with me? Now this is the query. So I have joined three tables together. Now the most important thing is what I've just explained to you. Where is the entry point? Where is the exit? You must be able to identify that. There is an entry point and then there is the exit. So the entry point is the what? Employee table. So this query is coming from left to right. From left to right. Now, another thing you have to notice here is that you see this first join. Now we have two join conditions, join and join. This first join is able to query data from employee table and from the department table, but it will not be able to query data from what do you call it? The location table. But this second join condition will be able to access the three tables. That is the rule. Are you with me? So now I have this. So when I execute this now, I execute it. See, look at, it gave me my output. So telling me that employee ID 100 is working in executive department, and that executive department is in this city. IT is in this city. See, it's showing me finance department is in this city. So finance department is in the same city with executive department. If there was city in any other table, it would have thrown me ambiguity error. Did you notice that I didn't specify where it's going to pull out the city from? If there was another table that had city, it would throw ambiguity error. So that one should have L dot city. Then you see the output that I'm getting, employee ID, city, department, is because of the way I arrange it here in my select list. So if I decide that, okay, I want to bring this, I cut this department name. I cut it and then I want to put it here. See, I now have it, employee ID, department name, city. Bring this back. If I execute this, city will be on this side, department name will be on this side. Watch. So can you see? Employee ID, department name, city. And if I want to add employee name to it, all I need to do is come to my employee, to this place, and say, this place now I can just say last name, or first, I'll add the employee code, E dot first underscore name, and then I put comma. So I can just run this one. See? And I have employee ID, the first name, the department, and then the city. So I'm getting this from three different tables. And it's coming from left, the reading is coming from left to right. So there's an input, then that input will now flow to the output of that table, which will now flow into the input of another table, which will now flow to the output of that table, and then flow into the input of the last table.